Hey, how you doing today? I'm coming to you, wanting to give you everything you need to empower yourself as you continue to empower life itself. Wow, right now I am standing at a place that as I grew a couple of blocks away from here, I grew in a place that establishes the community by helping the people in the community, basically the women in the community. And as I was helping the women in the community and children, I was still being used as a chosen one to go back in several areas to help children, teenage children, not children, but teenage children. And I'm looking at a college that I remember bringing them to, driving them so that they can continue on. Some of them were dropouts. Some of their parents encouraged them to go back, and as people who help the community, and when you're in growth, the only thing that can bounce off of you is helping others to grow. And as I begin to look and to talk about it, I'm even passing this phone through my eyes and looking at all the cars in the colleges. I even attended the college at one time. I remember having a car accident, 2 car accidents, and I went to college too quickly after it. At a point where I was still discovering the medications that I needed as it helped me with my pain as I went to school. And I was lucky because then medical marijuana began to be the choice of medication. And a lot of people was using it and utilizing it. And as I began to utilize the other medications that allow me to continue to go through life and not go through chronic pain as I continue to get my education. And yet it set me off in an area just a couple of blocks away from here where I had my own place. And it was like a big house. And it was like 5 houses, 4 in the front, 1 in the back. And it's crazy because as a chosen one, you never realize that you're working yourself in the community, yet other people's coming in your community that you help out of other communities. And sometimes you don't get the recognition because the fight was different. But when you come out of that fight, especially as women, you have to continue to let it be known that yes, it is possible to make change and to make change for others. And don't be unaware that some of them changes, you may see buildings built up and buildings fall down. And sometimes the buildings around you, while you building lives and building your own lives, will begin to fall because it was you that was noticed in them places. And I remember where I lived, there was a change because the community began to grow, to growing and helping others in the community, and they began to grow out of the establishment that was helping them out into the community. And as you are still in the community, your growth and your change was different because it broke down the things that were the obstacle of the community. And yet you was unaware that it was an obstacle of the community. But if I did not go reach where I needed help and where I lived, such as, I remember I had a beam and it was coming on the 2nd floor. And as I go and report this beam to get help and have them, examine to see where the help is, whether the landlord needs the help or the city needs the help, you begin to realize that people start to see that there needs to be change here. This is cute, it is nice, but this is not stable. So not was you only chosen, and trust me, to be chosen to be changed in the community, but the things around you that surrounded you, that supported you at the time, also was a change. And you was able to establish change in the community that you were in, you know, and you were able to go into classes to make changes and see children make changes. And it was not established through the children because their children have their own perseverance. And when I mean perseverance, they had things they had to go through. But if the right person wasn't there to care enough, if the right person wasn't there to say, listen, this is a car, but you need an education, the wrong person would have took them somewhere else. But it took the right person, especially a woman, because the women, we are the most vulnerable because we need help, but to help other young men. And when the older men see it, they begin to question, oh, men's supposed to help the young man, but where were you when the young man needed their help? You wasn't there. But I was the special direction because I paid attention to my direction and I knew what I wanted. And if you want what's for you, you're going to want what you want for the community. And that's how you know you set off in the right place. You're headed in the right direction. So women, I'm telling you, don't be in fear when you see that there's young men behind you, because sometimes it is not the men that carry them through, but it is you. You have that special quality, that special need, where most mothers were lost. Do you understand? And you become that mother figure to them while they're walking and talking, letting them know right from wrong. And even though you may be in the wrong place, I'm taking you to the right place. And you grow, and you grow, and you grow, and you grow. And it's because of your growth that you are who you are. And don't let nobody take that away. Do you understand? There's no gender. There are some avenues a man is able to carry. But let it be for short that a woman can carry a man down where he needs to go. Sometimes it doesn't take another man to do it, because the other men who are in their lives was the ones that were taking them down that bad path. Do you understand me? And they got jealous because they wasn't going down the bad path, but then trying to change them away from you. But hold strong, stay focused, and remember, it was me that took you through. And they will come after you to prove their manhood. But God put you in that position as a woman to carry them through. And as I stand here, I am looking at the college that I drove in my RAV4, and I took a lot of kids from the west side to get their high school diploma. They're cutting out of school. Why you want to cut out of school? And then men begin to question, oh, she's a woman taking care of boys. Yes, because when they were around the men didn't care about the education. Do you understand? And do not fault me or make me look like I'm at fault, because I have been used, because I care, because I was in move, I was in motion. And as you begin to be in motion and you can be used, things will begin to change around you. Them 5 houses are no longer in existence. And it's crazy because as I changed people's lives, my life changed, my environment changed around me without me changing it myself, but being concerned about my environment, especially about where I live. So I had to complain because there was a beam coming through my floor. And I'm visiting these kids back and forth, and I'm still doing what I gotta do, but I'm still taking care of me. I'm still working in my community. And then people begin to question what I was bringing to the community, but it was brought to a college. It wasn't brought to the wrong place. It was brought to the right place, whether they recognize you or not.
Yay!
You will be recognized. And the recognition of it all was that my community that was negative began to become positive. Because what was offered in some of them places began to be a question. When I got home, my boss would ask me, what's going on down in your community? I don't know. All I do is go home. It's quiet. I don't see anything going on. But you've been in the community long enough, you should. So as I begin to go and get help for my living arrangements, as I help others throughout the community, come into community, build them, as I grew, being chosen, it resonated off of me because I began to focus on what needed to be. And there was attention that needed to be. Not negative attention, but positive attention. And trust and believe that they came and I answered my boss. Yes, I did. I went to where I needed to get help. Look at this beam, it's almost up through the floor. And they found out it was unsafe for me to live. Therefore, they go search the other 4 houses. Begin to be unsafe for people to live, for people to stand by. But it was not for me and my caring, not for the other people in the community, not just for the kids on the west side, not for the boys who's dropping out of school, that it took a woman like me to focus and notice, I don't mind, this is a car, this is gas, it doesn't mean nothing, you don't have to give me gas, I'm gonna get you there, because I've been there. But it started with my roots, and my roots started back in New York City, where I had people who cared about me and my community. So how do you feel about your community when your community starts to change? Because whatever you do, it's gonna bounce back to something that is good. Now there's no houses. And I leave a link, because I was there today. And I go by several times to watch this orange tree that was in back of my house, which when I say orange tree, oranges used to grow from this tree. And that was one of the good creations that were back there and other things. It was a beautiful time. I remember having 3 Mother Days community dinners there for women in the center. And I did not judge them because I was not judged. I did not judge them boys. But sometimes the community will judge you because they don't understand why you receive them, how you receive them. Because it was not much for me to judge, but I tell you, each and every one walk closely to the light of change. And I'm telling you women today, be strong. Sometimes God will use you before a man, even to use you to move other young men. And then the man will become and try to question you. But who are you to question me? Where were you when these young men was going down a different path that couldn't lead them to change? Everyone is at change. Now you gotta fight because change wasn't around you. Some of the people didn't like it, so they coming after you. They will come after you because you done changed my world. You done made what was easy for me to get not easy, but it wasn't you. You just pay attention to your need, and that was safety. And everything around you will begin to grow or collapse if it needs to. But first, were you the one to discover you need a change? And on that, woman, be strong, be still. And know that sometimes you can be used first before a man. And don't let no one tell you different. Go out there and be as discovered and be yourself.